Hey guys, I'm Sid,
I'm Ariel.
and welcome to
It's worth
a
a
Laugh.
laugh. Hey!
Welcome back.
As you can see, we have Chunky Boy here again for another episode.
Yeah, we can't get rid of him.
Yeah, Garfield's somewhere. I
He was in
don't.
the bathroom with me a second ago.
Oh, sorry, touched his butt for too long. Um, Welcome back. Yeah, that's all I got.
I love it. How was your day at work today?
I had a relatively good day.
Good.
Yeah. I did a training from 11:30 to 1:30, so I wasn't even with the kids from that point in time. So, yeah.
Bro's going ham on this MacBook
Oh, I
right now.
know.
He just moved the entire Mac a solid 4 inches.
Oh,
We hear
no.
Toasty
He's
Boy.
leaving.
Oh. I know the way that we have the camera and the ring light set up, we have to, because we have our gaming PCs in here, every outlet is basically used. So for the camera to be plugged in the entire time and the ring light, we have to basically run an extension cord from our bathroom into where we film for the podcast. So the door has to be open, which means the boys have free reign. And now he's licking the Mac. Stop. Okay, that's where I draw the line. Okay, we're done.
He's like, says you.
Dude. All right.
Garfield.
Well, for this episode, we each came up with a few random things that we're going to talk about. I'm very curious on what you have come up with.
As you always should be.
I can do the first one if you want, because we were actually separated today. Ariel was obviously at work, and I had today off. So I hung out with Patty for a little bit, which was super fun. We went down just outside of Boston, and because she really wanted to try, I forget what they're called, and even if I did, I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. It starts with a T, but it's like soft serve Japanese ice cream in like a waffle thing, but the waffle is basically like a cone, but it's not like a waffle cone. It's not a traditional waffle cone.
But it's like the bubble waffles.
Yeah,
Is that
kind
almost what
of,
it
but
was?
it's in it's in the shape of a fish,
Oh. Oh,
and you
yes.
can
Yes, you
get
did tell
like
me that.
custard filling in it, or Patty got like a red bean custard. I don't
Mm.
know. That seemed weird to me. First off, it was freaking delicious, but they also had a donut shop connected to it,
Oh my gosh, I remember now. Okay.
and because I felt bad that you can come today, I got you a little goodie, and I want you to try it live on the pod.
Okay.
So I got you a mochi matcha donut.
Okay.
Mine, I got a Cookie Monster one, so it was just like a glazed donut with like Oreos on top, and it was fucking delicious.
Kind of scared.
I know mine is good.
Okay.
I ate almost all of it, but I had to save some for the pod. And if Ariel wanted to try it. Oliver, get out of here. I love that they're little balls.
The thing that makes me nervous about this,
Okay.
and I'll be upfront and honest on the pod. When we were in Seattle, CJ had gotten a matcha thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the face he made really,
But he doesn't like matcha.
you're right, turned me off from like wanting to get matcha flavored thing.
But he doesn't like matcha. Like, I don't like matcha, so I probably won't even try that. I
Okay.
mean, maybe I'll try a little bite just for the pod, but. Oh my god, stick the whole donut in. Isn't the texture so cool?
It's incredibly sweet.
It is incredibly sweet, which is probably why I like it so much.
Almost like too sweet.
Oh. Isn't the texture
You would like it though.
really? Yeah, but I don't like
No,
matcha.
no, it doesn't even taste like matcha.
Yeah, it does.
It literally does not. But okay.
If I scraped it off, like it's not super strong, but I do taste it.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick. Did you want to try one of mine? Mine's even sweeter than.
Oh, then no.
That's probably why I like it so much.
One bulb and I'm done.
Mm.
While it is delicious, this is something I would have to eat over the course of a couple days because that one bite, that half bite, was so sweet.
I had to stop myself from eating my whole donut so that way I had a piece to eat on the pod.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
I could eat 5 of these.
So,
Oh god.
I'll go first with my topic
Okay.
since you're launching. luxury home at risk of tumbling into pieces in Cape Cod, the one that I had read to you last time.
Mm-hmm.
They demolished it.
No way.
Yeah, and it was this was updated yesterday. So in Wellfleet, Mass, a luxury home that had been on the verge of tumbling into the Cape Cod Bay has been demolished. On Monday, heavy machinery rolled in to remove the house piece by piece, with trucks carrying it away. By Tuesday, only a concrete slab and a chimney and a generator remained.
No way.
hmm So this is,
Whoa.
yeah. So, yeah.
It's also kind of crazy. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense a tiny bit. The whole reason that it's falling is because it's just a sand dune.
hmm
So,
But
like,
how did you have all that heavy machinery up there?
even to start, I mean, my guess
Right.
is that, like, because it was just so far deep that it was, like, compact enough and that it obviously chips away over time.
But I also feel like that has to be a concern when you're going in like that to
Yeah.
demolish something like
It's
that.
just crazy to think that, like, literally it's just sand
hmm
underneath there. Like,
Yeah.
but that's
Well, and it's
crazy
also
because
crazy
we
that
just
people
talked
just
about
like
that.
built their houses
Because
on
I'm trying to
sand.
think, we even recorded that only, I think, 2 weeks ago,
hmm
which is, like, insane.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Well, and I just happened to be like looking at where I get my topics, and all of a sudden it like popped up, and I was like, oh, I read this one already, but then it said demolished, and I was like, oh,
That's
I
so
guess
funny.
I did not read this one. Your turn.
Okay. So I have the 70 most common pet peeves that like everyone finds annoying,
Okay.
and we're going to go through the list and um see how much those things annoy us.
Okay. Mouth noises, number one.
The biggest and most common one, chewing, sounding noises.
Yep. That's something that'll get me every time. And Sydney doesn't even mean to be chewing loud,
No.
but I'll hear it, and it
I
almost
try to
like,
be good about it.
no, I know, but it almost like, and your chewing does not bother me as much now as it did in the beginning.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
Just call me out.
But like
I try to be cautious of it because I
it
know how much it annoys you.
and it's not even like annoying. It brings me actual anger to the point where like I have to remind myself that she's literally just eating and not trying to annoy the fuck out of me so I don't yell at her.
Right? And sometimes too, like I feel like even if we're in the car or whatever, if I'll start eating something and I can hear it like in my head and I tell you to turn on music
Yeah.
because sometimes I can't even help it. It just depends on what
No,
I'm eating. Like
absolutely.
even that donut,
Yeah.
I was making mouth noises
Well,
without
yeah,
even trying.
because of the way the
It's like
dough is.
dense and
Yeah.
chewy and
Yeah.
it just happens, which is probably a good thing because we always watch TV while
hmm
we're eating dinner or anything like that. And usually when we're in the car, we're listening to either a podcast or music.
hmm
There's almost always
Always something
something.
playing while we're eating. And I don't know, it's a thing. It's
Oh,
like
it is a thing. A lot of people don't like
an
that.
actual thing
It
that it
has a
like
name.
makes them
Miso.
misophonia.
Sure.
Sure, but it causes me to get angry to the point where like I feel it in my bones.
It annoys me sometimes, but it's not
No.
like not
It
on
like
your level.
it like brings me so much anger to the point where like I'll be sitting with the kids in class and they'll be like chewing gum
Mm.
and I'm like
I
close
feel
your
like gum
mouth.
is probably well, the gum noise, like over and over again when people do that, that annoys me. And this might be on here and it might be different. I hate when people chew with their mouth open. Like
Well,
it's
and
not
that's
even the noise. It's
right.
just like, ew, I don't want to see that.
Well, and like all of my kids chew with their mouth open.
I
So
mean,
it's
at least they
constantly
like have an
no, and I
excuse. But
understand. But like there's
when
some
you're a
of them
grown
that
ass
don't
adult, come
have
on.
an excuse. And it's like just chew with your mouth closed. Like I understand you were never taught that.
Right.
Like I'm here to teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Chew with your freaking mouth closed.
Especially the ones that can
Right.
understand. Like,
And
come
it
on.
just and I don't know how to explain it to them without making it like seem like I hate them. Because I don't hate them. I hate their noises.
Yeah. The next one is repetitive tapping. So like if someone has a pen and they just like are bouncing it on the table.
No, because I do that. I'll
Yeah,
just go like this.
that doesn't really bug me. I think if it was like super loud or like someone constantly clicking a pen. I think clicking the pen's more annoying.
Clicking a pen is definitely more annoying for me, but I'm an awful tapper. Like I'll just
Yeah, you are actually.
and I don't know why.
If you're either tapping or like bouncing it away.
Bouncing. And it's because I feel like my my body and my mind always have to be doing something.
Yeah. That doesn't really bother me though, I don't
No.
feel.
If it did, we'd have probably more of a conversation about it.
Valid. Being interrupted during a conversation. I don't
If
think
I'm
that was both interrupting. That's actually so funny. Go ahead.
if I'm trying to like explain something and I can't, like we were on the phone earlier and I was just trying to like tell Sydney that I had like an idea that I wanted to give, or like no, it wasn't even that. I wanted to ask her if we could just go skiing tomorrow instead, but she just kept talking, and then she would stop and pause, so then I would go to speak, and then she would keep speaking, and then I literally said, "I'm trying to tell you," and she goes, "Just tell me what you want."
In my
I'm trying.
in my
I'm
defense, I was
literally
just getting
trying.
on the highway and I ended up having to turn the
Hmm.
volume up. So I
Yeah.
think a part of it was even if you did like start to talk, I
Right.
didn't hear you because it
Right.
was over the.
But
But yeah,
I
my
was
bad.
like, I'm trying to tell you.
I feel like it doesn't bother me if I'm interrupted during a conversation unless it's in like a condescending way.
Yes.
Like if oh
Yeah.
that's what fucking bugs me. Like who the fuck are you
Yeah.
to come at me like that?
Yeah. Mine's like, again, at work, if I'm trying to explain things
Mm-hmm.
to them and I'm like trying to just have a conversation with some of the girls, they'll like start talking over me and I'll go, I'll wait.
Yeah, you have to do that with kids that age in that
No,
environment.
right. And I just go, all right, are we ready to have a conversation now? Or are we just going to continue to interrupt me?
Yeah, it's also like a good thing for them to learn is just to like
Absolutely.
be aware of
And
their surroundings,
yeah.
especially.
Oh, I love them. Continue.
Next one, the next one is texting during a meal. I'm guilty of this.
So am I.
I don't think
I,
nowadays like for that to be a pet peeve,
right. I try to
that's got to
be,
be an older generation.
yeah. Like when we're out to dinner or like on a date or something like that,
We try to
we
be cautious.
try to be cautious of it. And I would much rather Sydney be like, "Hey, can you put your phone down?" Or and I know that Sydney would be like, "Hey, like, can you put your phone down?"
Yeah,
Or
and I
like,
feel like if I'm out to eat with like Rita or Jim,
"Yeah, my phone is
I
down."
try to be
Very present.
yeah, I try
Yeah,
to like be mindful of me not being on my phone unless like I know it. Sometimes work for
things
me
happen.
and I,
Yeah.
I have to, but
Yeah.
if it's just like even today, like when I was with Patty, for the most part, like I did not go on my
Mhm.
phone. Even if I saw a text from you, like I waited
Yeah.
until
Like a lull in the conversation
yeah,
to text back. Right. And I figured like I enjoy being present with the people that I'm with. So like I try not to go on my phone. It's gonna sound really bad because Sydney's my wife, but like we're together all the time.
yeah,
So like us texting during dinner is not something that either one of us is gonna get frustrated about.
no. And also like I don't know, I feel like it's one thing if like you're out to eat and you're texting the entire time. Like
Right.
who are you hanging out with? Me or the person that you're texting?
Right. Oh, it's twitching.
But also like who is texting the entire like how much can they be texting for that to annoy you?
Hmm.
I don't
Right.
know, like that's where I think it
If they're
must
not even
have
like
to be an older generation thing.
right, and if they're not even looking at the menu and they're just looking at their phone the entire time, and like the server has come over a couple times and you still like
Yeah.
that's something that's gonna get me. Like respect my time at that point.
Taking phone calls in public.
I don't really mind that unless Sydney is talking to somebody that she gets excited about, like her sister. Um,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
her and Emma can talk for 45 minutes and Sydney just progressively gets louder. So I do get a little embarrassed sometimes being out in public with her while she's on the phone. Um,
Oops.
I try to be very mindful of that. And if I'm out in public, I'll be like, "Hey, like I'm in a store, can I help you?" or something.
Right.
I am not going to answer. Like I prefer to wait and call you back once I'm in my car than answer a phone in public. My answer is kind of
Okay.
cuz if you there's some people where I don't need to hear your conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very like case to case
Right.
situation.
If you're screaming at your phone, like I don't need to hear your conversation. I don't need that to hear that you need yeast to stat. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like it also has to do with like what is the conversation?
Right.
Like
If you're spilling some hot tea, I'm gonna listen.
and the other thing is too like are you in Walmart like grocery shopping and you're calling, your wife or your husband like, "Hey, do we need milk?" Like,
Right.
that's one thing. Or like, are you on a train at fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
and yapping on a business call? Like, do you remember when we were in fuck, I don't remember what airport we were in, but we were in a lounge and there was this guy on a business call. He
Was that
was
the one with the cute kids?
Yes.
We
He
were
was
in.
talking so loud.
Oh God, where?
I think we were in Seattle because we had Jordan and
Yes,
CJ
and
maybe.
yep, yep.
I
Because
know we
that's
had
we said
Jordan.
we were going back to Boston.
Yes, you're right.
Yep. So we were in Seattle.
He was talking
So
so
loud.
loud, and I think it's because he had both his AirPods in. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he necessarily realized how loud he
Right.
was talking, but oh my
Yeah.
god, that was like, bro,
Yeah. But he had cute ass kids, so
he
it
did
made up
have
for
cute ass
it.
kids. FaceTiming without headphones.
See, that kind of goes into the last one where, like,
Yeah,
if you're on speakerphone with somebody, why? Just call
right.
them normally. You don't need to FaceTime them.
Yeah,
And if you're
that's
gonna,
so weird because I
like,
feel like nowadays too, like everyone just has AirPods.
right.
So like, I don't think I've ever really like FaceTimed in public unless it was like a really quick thing and
Mm-hmm.
they needed to show me something.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that, I mean, this must be like FaceTime in public, like basically a phone call and speaker.
Right.
Because like you should just turn your volume down. It
No, I
wouldn't be
agree.
as
Yeah.
bad. Throat clearing or cough noises.
That really doesn't bother me because when I'm sick or, like, when I'm recovering afterwards, I clear my throat quite constantly
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
think
like
it's
make cough
only
noises.
annoying if it's like a constant thing, like every
Yeah.
30 seconds, and if like you're trying to focus. Like I can picture
Right.
myself back in like middle school or high school and like trying to listen to the presentation or whatever was happening and just like every 30 seconds there's a kid like coughing or clearing their
Mm-hmm.
throat.
Well, and I
That
mean,
can get annoying.
right. And even when I was getting over the flu, I was like constantly clearing my throat because there was constantly just like gunk in it. And Sydney's like, drink some water. And I'm like, it's not gonna help. It's
Well,
like,
I
but
could like
okay.
hear how dry it
Yeah.
was.
I was dying.
So like, yeah, I think the water helped. This one I know you're going to make a comment. Leaving drawers or cabinets open.
You've been better.
Yeah, cuz you see, and I feel like a part of these pet peeves is like you don't necessarily say something and
Right.
like it just you don't the person maybe doesn't realize that it's something that annoys you.
Right. And like for a while, and I am guilty of it too, I will fully admit, about leaving cabinet doors just like wide open.
Yeah.
So I would go to like grab something from the kitchen. Well, I can see all of my cabinets because they're all wide
They were
open.
it was not all of them. I would
No,
leave like one
no,
open.
I know. But it's like I can just
Yeah,
close it.
and honestly, like I'm more aware of it now, so I really try
Mm-hmm.
not to, but a lot of times like I leave the spice cabinet open the entire time I'm cooking
Yeah,
because I'm just like
constantly
I
going in
don't
it.
go by a recipe. I just go by taste. So like I'll sprinkle what I think it needs. I'll taste it. Oh, it needs a little more pepper. So then I
Mm-hmm.
sprinkle the pepper, and then I taste it again. Now it could use a little more spice. So then I go in, and like by the end, once it's actually good, I just forget that I don't need anything
Yeah,
else, and it stays open.
yeah.
Or I'm just like cooking 5 million things at once, and like my brain is just in a million pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So I like grab something super quick because I don't want it to burn or
Yeah,
something, and then I just forget to close it.
yeah.
Or like I'm plating or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm. But she's a million times better now about it.
thank you. Not screwing the lids onto bottles or containers all the way, and then something most likely leaks. I don't know if that's something that really happens to
Mm-mm.
us to even be on my radar.
No, I had to like really think about it.
I do get annoyed because our oat milk containers
Yeah,
sometimes like even if it's screwed on all the way, it's like the seal
my chai
doesn't.
tea, a piece of it's open, and I didn't realize until I shook it and shook it all over myself. So
See,
I was
like
like, I
that
was
annoys me. And that
right,
happens to me with the oat milk, and
right,
that annoys
and
me.
it's literally just like a sealant problem.
Yeah.
And but it like pissed me off because I had to go change, and I'm like, I'm so, and I don't make my chai teas till I'm like walking
Walking out
out
the
the
door.
door. So I'm like, fuck, like I gotta go change. I gotta go, make sure it's not in my. I don't smell like chai tea.
Right.
Like,
Scraping silverware.
yes.
I don't know if that bugs me. I don't like the
Ugh.
eat noise on like the plate, but the actual silverware I don't think bugs me.
I think is that not what it means though?
Or maybe it is, but there's silverware on their teeth or their plate. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
yes.
teeth gets me so bad.
Really? That
The
doesn't bug
just
me.
like you're just dragging metal.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Ugh. And the plates get me. It's almost as bad as like nails on chalkboard.
Mm.
That is a hard pass for me.
Cutting lines. Yeah, I don't think that bugs me.
No, because it bugs me if like,
It bugs me if you're a dick about it.
yes, that's exactly what I was trying to think of saying. But like, I was like, how could
Like, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna have to wait in line. So, like, it doesn't really
right,
matter that much if there's one more person in front of me.
right,
But, like, if you're gonna be an absolute dick about it,
mm-hmm.
that's where, like,
Right,
it pisses me off.
right.
Standing up at the exact moment the plane gets to the gate. Oh, this is a fucking pet peeve. Let me tell you.
Wait, I have one.
What?
Clapping
Yeah,
when the
that can be
plane
on there
lands.
too.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's like we're all gonna get off. Just like you're not gonna get off any faster if you're
And you know
standing up.
what? That also, when someone cuts getting off the plane, that pisses me off.
Yes,
That
is
you can wait
something.
your fucking turn.
No, literally.
If you're ordering at Starbucks, sure, you can cut me. I don't really care.
Right.
Getting off the fucking plane, no. I will stand there, and if you try and cut me, I'm the type of person that now I'm gonna take my fucking time.
Well, and
too.
I did
I'm
have
gonna
somebody.
butt in front of you, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna double check my seat. I'm gonna double check my pockets.
Well,
I'm gonna triple check that nothing fell out of my fucking backpack up in the storage container.
well, and
Like,
I
ugh.
I did have somebody try and cut me. I can't remember what airline we were going through, but they like it was like this woman, and she looked like a bitch, but she tried to cut me. And all of a sudden, I look over, and Sydney's taking out my suitcase.
Yep.
She's picking up her backpack, and the woman's like, "Ugh." And so Sydney goes slower, and I'm like,
The only
this
difference.
woman's gonna punch me in the back of the head. Like,
The only thing to note here is if they have another plane to catch and they don't have much time. If that's the case,
say something.
You can gladly cut me.
Yep.
If you say like, "Can I please cut you? I have a plane to catch."
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I've been there. I know how
Yep.
it feels. It's stressful. Go ahead. Like,
Yes.
you're clearly in a hurry. I don't want you to miss your flight.
Yep.
And honestly, like,
But if you're just like
that's all.
standing
That's
there
all
and
it
you're like,
takes. Just
"Can you let-"
let me know you have another plane to catch. You can gladly go. I mean,
Right.
shit. I'll let the whole fucking plane go if I don't have a plane to catch,
Right.
and everybody else does.
Right.
Like, that's the one of the worst feelings in
Absolutely.
the world. If not, wait your fucking turn.
Well, yeah.
Everybody has to get a bag, and when you unload a plane, you go front to back. Like, it just that one
That
gets
one
me.
grinds her gears, apparently.
Here's another one. Wow, we're getting into some good ones. Driving too fucking slow.
Honestly, I'm just gonna mute my mic and let Sid go for it.
Oh
These are Sid's biggest pet peeves.
my god. If you don't know where you're going, pull over. Let us go. And like, I don't know. I feel like as long as you're going 5 over, I won't bitch. 5
Yeah.
over, I won't bitch. Even like once you get closer to the speed limit, like between like that 5 to 0 over mark, it's gonna annoy me a little bit, but for the most part, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yep.
What I hate the most as far as driving slow is when you turn slow. Like, if you come to a complete stop to make like a right turn. Like, obviously, if there's oncoming traffic, you need to make a left turn. Duh, you're gonna stop. However, let me add on to that one. If you're gonna be making a fucking left turn, scoot as close to the damn double line as you fucking can, so that way I can go around you. There's no reason for me to have to stop. You're an asshole. She just grabbed her blanket and tucked herself into her chair so that way I could keep going. But like, the amount of people that will like hug the breakdown lane when they're making a left turn, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Move. I know sometimes, like, especially in the winter, there may not be enough room for me to go around with like snowbankings or even just a narrow road or a guardrail.
Or having to slow down enough to where you don't slide and when you're turning your corner. Like,
Yeah.
I get that.
Like, there's obviously different circumstances, but if there's enough room, scoot over. Like, there's no reason, especially on a really busy road,
Mm-hmm.
like, you're holding up so much traffic just
Meanwhile,
because
there's like 2 cars behind them.
just because like you're not aware of your surroundings. Scoot over that extra few inches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when we pull into our apartment, there's not much room unless you are like really, really hugging the
Yep.
line. And because there's a guardrail right there. But if you scoot over enough and your
Mhm.
tires are on those double lines or right next
Yep.
to it, there's enough room.
People can move around you.
And
I've had buses move around me.
right. But
Like,
as
there's
soon
space.
as you stay in the middle of the road,
Yeah,
it's just it's impossible.
Yeah.
and you hold up traffic, and it is so annoying. So annoying. This one I'm guilty of, driving too close to the car in front of you.
You are incredibly guilty of that. To the
But it's
point where I'm
because
like, can
people
you
drive
give
too
them?
slow
I
and
was
it
like, can you
annoys
give
me.
them some space?
Although sometimes you call me out and there's like plenty of room. And I'm like, girl, you need to actually
She's like,
relax a
yeah, there's
tiny
like
bit.
3 feet in front of us.
Well, if there's
Hmm.
enough for me to see their tires, I'm fine.
Okay.
You like to see pavement. As long
Yeah.
as I can see their tires, I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm like, I like to give enough space because I don't want to have to slam on my brakes because I want to keep my brakes. This one does not care.
Curly pop. Have I
Just
ever
saying.
gotten into an accident? Have I ever rear-ended somebody? Let me do that because that's the accident that would have happened.
No.
I have been rear-ended, but that's not because I was riding
Nope.
somebody's
And
ass.
I understand that. Just saying.
Well,
You
I'm
make
just
me a
saying.
little uncomfortable.
And I try to be more cautious of it because it makes you nervous, but also sometimes I'm
You
like,
hear that
okay,
condescending tone over there? Ollie, can you get your asshole out of my face? Ugh, he whacked me in the face with his tail.
people who talk during movies, time and place.
Yeah.
If you're at the movies and you physically paid to be there, unless everybody in the movie theater, like, I feel like sometimes there are movies, like, I could see, like, I feel like I've heard, like, at the Superman type movies and stuff, like, sometimes people talk and they'll be like, oh yeah, like, if something's really
Yeah.
cool. That's,
It was the same thing when the Twilight movies came out. Like,
sure, that's not my vibe.
yeah.
I don't really like the movies, anyways.
Hmm.
I could see that being okay.
Right. But if you're just having like a full blown conversation,
No.
no. Don't interrupt my movie that I paid for so you can sit here in the dark and have a conversation.
What do you think about at home? If it's just me and you or like us and friends, what do you think? Oh,
If it's me and you, I don't care.
yeah.
You can have a conversation with me all you want. If we're watching with friends, if they start a conversation, then I'll continue to talk. But I'm not going to be the one to start a conversation while we're in the middle of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it bugs me that much, partly because like sometimes I get bored in movies,
Hmm.
so like sometimes a little conversation is nice.
Right.
I feel like the thing that annoys me when it comes to talking during movies is maybe when someone who hasn't seen the movie before and maybe I have asks a million
Million
and one
questions.
questions.
Just watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, like I'm okay with like it like for me, sometimes I'm a little slow. So I have like I'll seriously say like I'm confused. Can somebody explain to me what's happening?
Hmm.
That I seriously just like need the little bit of help because if I don't understand what's happening, I'm gonna be miserable the whole movie.
Right.
And I need a little like information. So if somebody does that, it doesn't necessarily bother me. But if like every scene they're like, wait, what does that mean?
Back and better than ever.
Yes, we stopped real quick. Um and Arrow put her hair up. So if you're watching the video, that's why it looks different. Alright, next one, being late.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Like if we have somewhere to be, I guess that's the definition of being late. How do I?
I don't like us being
Somewhere
late.
where it's like a yes. Okay, we'll do that. I don't like us being late.
Yeah.
It
We
doesn't.
hate being late.
It doesn't bother me when other people are late unless it involves making us late.
Yeah.
I don't like being late. I grew up with parents who were like, early is on time and
Yeah.
on time is late. Like I grew up with parents where like, you show up 15 minutes early and you're ready to go.
Yep.
So late was like never an option for us.
Mm-hmm.
So when other people make us late, it's like, can we get going? Like, we only have 14 minutes to get there. I was like, we're going to be late.
Yeah.
So,
Or I hate when people are late in the workplace. Like,
yeah.
it's just unprofessional, in my opinion. In that sense, I don't think it's acceptable in very many situations. Every once in a
Mhm.
while, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I travel a decent amount for work, so like sometimes I hit traffic and there's just no
Right.
avoiding
There's
that.
nothing. Yeah.
That's one thing. But also, it's one of those things where like the boy who cried wolf. If
If you're
I'm
showing
I'm
up late,
always there on time. I'm
yeah.
always there early. So if I have to push back something by 15 minutes, they
It's
know
because
it's
I'm like
legit.
running late. Yeah.
Right.
And it's
Also,
also
some
just like a
some things
courtesy.
aren't serious. Where like even this morning, like I got to Patty's 10 minutes late. Um, it's because I had to feed the boys, and then I took out some of the trash, which I wasn't expecting to do this morning. But also, like
Which is
we were
appreciated.
we were just going to get ice cream.
Right.
Like that, it's okay to be a few minutes late. Would I have preferred to be on time? 110%. And you know what? Another part to that as soon as I knew I was going to be late, I texted her.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. If you're gonna be late, just let somebody know.
Yeah,
Like,
because
hey, I'm running a few minutes behind, or
that's exactly what I
hey,
did. I
like
said,
I'm gonna
"Hey,
be like,
I'm running a few minutes behind. I'll be there in an hour. I'm
yeah,
leaving my house now."
yeah,
That totally okay.
absolutely. Just if it's like constant, oh, you're 5 minutes late. Oh, now you're 10 minutes late.
Right.
Oh, now you're turning into 15 minutes
And
late.
we have some friends out there. Jordan, you're
We
one of
love you,
them. We love you to death. We know that
CJ.
you're. Oh my God, CJ's so bad. CJ's worse than Jordan. CJ's a million times worse than Jordan. And for the most part, Jordan will text.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan will text if it's more than 15 minutes.
Yes.
If it's under 15 minutes, it's kind of
It's
just
just kind of
expected.
expected at that point.
To the point that, like, sometimes I have to tell Jordan
An
something is
earlier
starting
time.
15 minutes earlier just out of
Mm-hmm.
love because I know she's going to be late.
Yep.
Like, that's what I did the first time she went to yoga
Yep.
because I knew how strict Master Yogi was. I told her that class started at 6 when in reality doors open at 6. Class started at 6:15. She texted me, "Shoot, I'm running late. Is that going to be a problem? I'm going to get there like just before 6." And I was like, "Lucky for you, just before 6 is right on freaking time." And I told her, I'm like, "I lied to you because I knew you were going to be late.
Yep.
So you're good." And I mean, we joke about it. She
Yeah.
knows she's not the best. CJ, you just really got to push him. Like, come on, CJ.
But he shows up every time for yoga on Tuesday.
Yeah, he does do that on
Yep.
time because he knows that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You're not getting in those doors if you're late.
all right, next one. Slow walkers.
If I'm determined to get somewhere, move your ass. Like Disney, what are you slow walking for?
That is not the time or place to be
Fucking
walking. So,
move.
yeah. Like, remember
I'm
that time?
speed walking here. I have a fast pass and it's getting up right now. Move.
Do you remember when I had showed you that TikTok where like this couple had like a code at Disney?
Yes, and they would split up.
Yeah, and it was like single file,
Yep.
pushing and
Yep.
weaving through people. I'm leaving you in the dust. I'm not checking to make sure you're behind me. We both know where we're going, and
Yep.
we're gonna get there as fast as possible. Like,
Yep.
that's us. I feel like sometimes you get annoyed that I walk too fast, which is kind of
Okay.
the opposite of this.
Because sometimes we will literally just be walking. And this girl's over here running a fucking marathon.
Oh my gosh.
She's like 50 steps ahead of me, and I'm just like,
Sometimes I get excited too, and when I'm excited, I walk fast.
yeah, when we went skiing last Friday,
That's what I was thinking.
I was like walking.
I was
and
leaving her in the dust.
She is leaving me in the dust. And I'm like,
I was so excited.
well,
And
I was
I
like,
was
so are we
cold.
going here or there? And she's just, I was like, girl, I was like, she
For those
turns
who are
around,
listening,
she
she
goes,
was using power walking
Yeah.
arms.
but she was like, I'm like, why are you walking so fast? I was like, I know you're excited, but I'm not ready to run. And she's like, I'm not running, I'm walking. I was like,
I was excited and I was a little cold. It was cold that day.
yeah, I feel like I don't know.
You didn't even want to walk to the car because it was cold. Don't even.
Oh, at like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, but
It gets colder at nighttime.
okay.
It gets colder at nighttime.
Gate lice. Do you know what that is? If you travel a lot, which I do, you are probably very familiar with gate lice. I am not, whether you know it or not.
Oh,
It's the people who crowd the boarding gate to make sure they get on the plane as soon as humanly possible.
that goes the same thing as the frickin'. I understand if you have a carry-on.
Yeah, if you
If
have
you
a
have a
carry-on,
carry-on and you're gonna try and put it in the overhead bin,
mhm.
I understand trying to rush to get on because those fill up fast.
Yeah.
If you just have a fucking backpack that can go by your feet, move, bitch.
I also
Move.
feel like it's one thing if you are like standing up near the area. There's people who like line
This is
up
the line.
right on to
Yeah,
the
this is the line. They're lined up here. So now people who are going in the gate have to make this weird U shape
yeah,
because
get
you
around.
won't fucking move.
Yeah. Especially like if you know you're
Take
in
a
the
seat,
last
buddy. We're all
boarding
getting on the
group,
we're all
like,
getting on the plane.
relax. Yeah, I think it's kind of a pet peeve for me, but
It's a
I've
pet peeve
also
for
been
me.
guilty of it.
When we were on our way to Italy, I was guilty of it. I was excited. I was pumped. Like I was ready to go
Yeah.
and ready to be on the plane to go. I had also just gotten an upset tummy from being hungover. So I was like, just get me on this freaking plane or otherwise I'm going to go to the bathroom, puke, and probably miss the flight.
Right. And we knew that we had like a 6-hour flight, so we
Mhm.
wanted to make sure we were like situated.
Yeah, before they took off. And we weren't even the last boarding group for that one. But if we are the last boarding group, we're more than aware to sit down and wait for them to call our boarding group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to stand there and be like, please take my ticket, sir. I'm group F.
Right.
Like, no, go sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Other
I
people
didn't
are
know there
trying
was
to
a
get on the
term
plane.
for that.
Gate lice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Because they all gather where they're not wanted.
Yeah, I see it now.
I love it.
What about know-it-alls?
Don't come at me and be like, you're wrong.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
If you're going to constantly tell me that I'm wrong, even on things that I
I don't
know
tell
I
you
am.
you're wrong. I just tell you I'm right.
That shit fucking pisses me off. You know what? You're right. This is a big pet peeve. You are a big pet peeve.
Yeah, but
There's times where like we joke about that 95%. There are times where it genuinely pisses me off.
yeah, that
And
happened
I'm
in
like,
Maine the other day.
can you just like not and just stop
Yeah,
for
but
2
okay,
seconds?
other than the main one,
There's been a couple times where it's pissed me off, but it's like not enough to where I'm going to be like, I don't want you to ever bring it up again because it is a funny thing. It's just like there's times where you're so unwilling to let something go that it pisses me off to the point of no return. And I don't get mad at Sydney. Rarely ever do
yeah.
I get mad at you. That is the thing that makes me mad. I'm like, you are such a fucking bitch right now. But I love her. And
Thanks. I'm still like the main one.
we're not talking about Maine because it actually made me so mad
I
at
know
you
it did.
and that I did not want to talk to you or be near you.
The
So
problem.
we're not bringing it up. This is, I'm sorry. You guys will have to figure out the main thing when I'm still a little less heated about it. I don't want to hear about it.
That's fine.
Thank
We
you.
don't have to bring
Thank
it
you.
up. We ended the discussion with us both being wrong.
Yes. Which I'll take. I will take us both being wrong.
Okay. One-uppers. It annoys me.
Yeah. If I'm doing something and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm fucking crushing this, and somebody's like, I can do better than you. Fuck off. I know.
Right.
Okay? You don't need to show me. Or like if I'm like,
Not everything needs to be a competition.
no. And there's times where like people will quite literally trauma dump and they'll be like, oh, you think that's bad? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you.
I think we don't have that many people who do that in our lives.
No.
I don't feel. I think we're lucky.
We're pretty lucky.
I don't know. I don't want to surround that with myself.
No.
I had a lot of that growing up.
I don't want to have to constantly feel like I'm in competition with my friends.
Yeah. It's just not fun.
No.
Like, I'm going to be happy for you when you
Right.
do stuff, and I hope you're happy for me when I do stuff.
Right.
And, like, hopefully we can do stuff together rather than making it a
Mhm.
competition.
Right.
We also just, like, we have a lot of friends who are in very different, like,
Stages
aspects
of their lives. Yeah.
whether we're the same age or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why does everything have to be a competition?
Right.
And that's also, like, uh, if you compare yourself to everybody around you or feel like you need to do better than somebody or somebody is doing better than you, reflect on that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe look at why that's bugging you
Right.
and
Well,
go from there.
What's also
Rather
wild?
than just try and make a rash decision to do something
Mm-hmm.
that is quote unquote better.
Right. Well, like going on, our friends being in different stages of their life. Most of our friends are married or in very serious relationships.
Yeah.
There's like a select few that we have that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But like pretty much all of them are married. Some of them are having kids.
Right.
Like some of them are talking about having kids. We're in we're talking about having kids. Like
Mhm.
we're in very different stages that if I feel like I need to compete with you to feel like I can be your friend, I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, it's like not that like I don't know
A
what
good-
other
a
word
good
other
thing of,
than
like-
like turn off. Like
Yes.
obviously it's not a romantic turn off,
Right.
but like it's
Why do I
just
want to be friends with you?
yeah.
Why do I want to feel like I'm constantly in competition with somebody? Like
And also
it's
like I don't know, I just feel like maybe this is just me, but when I have something that like most people don't, I try to share it. I feel
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
travel's a really good example.
Yeah.
Like people are always like low key so especially growing up, we're so jealous of
Mhm.
how much I travel and everything, which I totally get. Like, traveling is expensive and not everybody gets to do it. And even if you do travel, you may not be traveling to the places that I may have traveled.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how many kids in my high school went out of the
Right.
country,
Right.
and I was going out of the country once or twice a year.
Mhm.
Like, but then when I'm able to, I share that. Like my
Right.
senior trip,
Jordan.
literally, my mom asked me what did I want for my senior gift, and it was to bring Jordan on a trip.
Right.
Like, that's not how you should. I don't know. That we don't need to get into
We're
more.
different people
But
than
yeah.
the people who want to one up everybody.
Okay, so we've already kind of talked about this one, so we can kind of skip it. But gum cracking, snapping, or chewing.
Fuck you.
The snapping doesn't really bother me. If anything,
This?
it's the chewing. No, like when you suck in, like I do gum snapping.
Oh, so do I. When you suck in for a
Yeah, and it
bubble
makes like a
instead of
really
blowing out.
loud snap sound.
That does not bother me.
Yeah,
The thing that does bother me is the chewing,
yeah,
like the smack. Fuck you. That's
yeah,
all I got. If you're gonna sit here and smack, but then if I tell you that you're smacking and you only do it louder, knock it off.
yeah. That's extra annoying. Cracking knuckles. No, that doesn't bother
No,
me.
you
I
crack all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we both do. I crack. The problem is I can crack a lot more than you.
Right.
You can
Mine are my
crack.
hands. I crack my hands and my ankles like all the time.
Using words the wrong way, like being and then having somebody be like a grammar police, or does it annoy you that people use words the wrong way, or does it annoy you when there's a grammar police person?
I think it annoys me more if there's like a grammar police kind of person where it's like you use that wrong. Fuck off. Can you just be like, hey, that's not how you use that word. Why don't you try using it this way? Like, you know, I'd much rather that than be like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. I also just like grammar is not my
Not for
forte.
you. Yeah.
And like
And there are
every once in
times
a
like
while,
I make fun of you.
yeah, and that doesn't bug me. Like sometimes I do need to like know something's wrong too. Like
Right.
there's a way to go about it, but also like I know I'm not the most well-spoken speaker. I know I make spelling mistakes. I'm
Hmm.
very fucking aware.
Hmm.
I don't need you to tell me every single mistake I'm making. Most of the time it's cuz I don't fucking care.
Yep.
Like genuinely.
And if she
And
does
when I
care,
do,
she'll run it through ChatGPT.
yeah, always. If
Yep.
like anything that has to do with like work or anything like legal or
Hmm.
important, I either run it by you
Yep.
or run it through ChatGPT. Like
Mm.
I'm not dumb. I know I'm not smart when it comes to that type of stuff.
So
So
you
I
have other
use my
people. Right.
resources.
Mhm.
So I don't need you telling me how bad I am.
Yeah.
People who adopt the interest or habits of every new significant other.
I feel like I am that person.
Well,
There are things that like, well, not even just with you. Like in the past, there are things that I've like adopted from other people. And like it's because I'm like, yeah, I love the way you do that. Like
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like there's a difference. If it's like you changed your whole
whole
personality every
personality.
single time you date somebody new, yeah, I think
Hmm.
that would get annoying. Because who are you? Like, what
I'm
if
the
you're
same
only
pushover
going
in every relationship.
if you're gonna mesh to whoever you're dating, you're not being you,
No.
and you're not gonna find somebody that you should be with for the rest of your
Mm-mm.
life if you do that. I honestly think that it's a good thing to pick up new hobbies. Like you should find things that you guys can do together. I love sharing my interests with you,
Hmm.
and I love trying new things that you do.
Yep.
Like it's a part of like meshing,
Yep.
not maybe not meshing, but like combining traditions, combining
Pretty
families
much
and
combining your lives.
right. That's one thing. It's if you change every single
Hmm.
time. But it's also okay to have different hobbies.
Absolutely.
Like I think a good
It's
example
okay to
for
do
us
things
is
separately.
like I love right now, it's skiing time.
Yeah.
And I love when you come skiing with me.
Right. And I
Do I
enjoy
ask you to
skiing.
go every single Friday? I ask you to come. Do I
Right.
expect you to come every Friday? No. If you do come, do I expect you to ski the entire night? No.
No.
If you want to stop halfway through and read a
Yep.
book, stop halfway through and read a book. But I love you being there.
Right.
When you and your family do family game night, have I picked up playing more board games because I find it enjoyable now? Yes. Did I
Yeah.
play board games growing up? No.
Right.
Like, I don't
There's
know.
things that you're gonna mesh together and be able to do together. Like I enjoy skiing. My body does not. Like my hips don't fuck with me with skiing. So I can ski for a while, probably 2 hours, and be like, yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
But then as soon as that like I do one thing and it messes with my body the wrong way, my body's like, you can't do this anymore. Like you have to stop right now. But I love doing it. And I love doing it because Sydney loves doing it and I enjoy doing it with her.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't just pick up and go skiing on my own. Like,
Yeah.
that's not something I'm gonna do. I would much rather go skiing with her, or even like Emma. I'd much rather go skiing with somebody than going by myself.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the one that probably I picked up the most that was very different was country music.
yeah.
Because I rarely listened to country music
Mm-hmm.
before you. In fact, I like low key despised it.
Yep, you did when you told me. You're like, I hate country music.
But
And I was more than okay with that. But then I started playing like little bits at a time and
mhm,
introduced her to like
I'm still
the
picky about
not
my country music.
right, the not like super like twangy like country
Literally,
music. She's
except for
not into that.
Twang by
Yeah.
whatever the fuck his name
Yeah.
is. That
Mason
song is
Ramsey.
fun. Yes.
She's like other than yeah, and I won't show her like, early 2000s or 90s country music because she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
just
her
not.
type of country music. She enjoys more country pop music than anything.
Yeah, like we even looked up because I thought that I was gonna like Luke.
Luke Bryan.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna like him because we watched him in a
Yep.
YouTube video and he was super funny. She played his music for me and I was like, no.
Yep.
I was like,
Not
I
for
like
you.
him as a person.
Yep.
Don't like his music.
Yep.
That's just not for me.
Yep.
The feeling of chalk or the sound,
I don't mind the feeling of chalk. I don't like the sound of chalk.
I could agree 100%.
I kind of like the feeling of chalk. It's on my fingers because I love being able just to do this.
What about cotton balls?
I'm not minded by cotton balls.
Yeah, me neither. People who constantly talk about their diet.
Good for you. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
like,
That's all I got.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just because we're not like super crunchy munchy when it comes to that type of stuff. It's one of those things where like I don't know if you can talk if you want to talk about your diet, sure, but don't push it on me.
Yes.
I think that's where I draw the
I
line.
would love to hear what you're doing to make your body better. But if you're like going to try and be like, you need to do this, I don't want to hear about it
Yeah,
anymore.
that's where I'm like
Don't come
I
at
could
me
care
with your
less.
agenda. I know what works for my body and knowing the limits that I can give my body.
Mm. Stopping suddenly in the middle of a sidewalk or like an aisle in a grocery store.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
Yeah. Be aware of your surroundings.
Right. If you're just going to come to like, if you're just like moseying along and then you just,
I mean, obviously, like a grocery store is a little different. Like, obviously, you're gonna stop at whatever item you
right.
need to grab, but also like just be aware of your surrounding. Like,
Mm-hmm.
step to the side.
Yep. There's
Ugh.
people that'll leave their carts just in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the aisle.
That's
Shit
why I can't shop at Market Basket.
pisses me off.
I fucking refuse to shop
Yep.
at Market Basket
Yep.
unless there's like my favorite peanut butter. I'm so sad. Used to
Yeah.
at least be sold at Walmart.
Yeah.
And we've checked these last few weeks, and Walmart hasn't had it. Which maybe they're just low on stock.
Maybe.
But when we run out, we're probably gonna have to go to Market Basket. I will literally walk to the peanut butter aisle, grab it, and leave because I hate shopping at Market Basket for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's hell. Ugh, this one I don't like. Being rude to somebody at customer service.
Yep. That's where you lose me. If you're rude to somebody like that, I think you deserve to be the lowest of the low.
Yep.
You
If
deserve to
if
be the
someone
bottom of the totem
truly
pole.
fucked up and like there's a way to go about it.
Right. Even if somebody fucks up your complete thing, just be like, "Hey, I'm sorry to be like," and I would I would because it's me. I'd be like, "I'm sorry to bother you, but like, this whole thing is wrong. Is there a possibility that we could do something to
You need
fix
to
it?"
start off being nice, and then if they're rude back
Yes.
to you, then you have a
Yeah.
fucking green light. Be as rude as you want.
Yeah.
But you need to start off respectable.
Absolutely. Or
And nice.
nobody's gonna take you serious
No.
if you just come in guns blazing. I'm not.
I mean,
If you
and
come at
there's
me and you're like, "You did something fucking wrong," I'd be like, "Take a step back.
yeah, and there's also
I'm not
a
afraid to
way
lose my job
show
today."
your anger without being rude, like straight
Yes.
up rude.
Yes.
There's a way to show that you're frustrated
Yes.
and get your point across without just being blatantly
You
rude.
could also just say, "Hey, I'm really frustrated right now. I just want to get this figured out. Like, what steps do we need to take here to figure this out? Because I'm over it."
Yeah. What about holding up a line, or worse, at like the airport during security?
What are you doing to hold up a line, though?
Yeah, I feel like that's where it really is like, are you just being like dumb and not paying attention?
Right.
Or like, do you have kids running around and you're trying to like,
yeah. If you have kids that you're trying to like, I'm gonna say wrangle, like, I understand completely. But even if you're like not paying attention, that happens.
yeah.
You'll just be standing like I do it at the airport all the time. I just go and I look at everything, even though I've been to Logan now a few times. Like I look at literally everything. It's just how I do it, I guess.
What about picking your nose? It actually just grosses me the
It
fuck
it
out.
grosses me out. I don't think it's a pet peeve. I think it just grosses me out.
Yeah, I don't think it's a pet peeve, but like, you're
Yeah,
disgusting.
make sure you wash your fucking hands.
We're getting to like, they're kind of repetitive at this point. What about strangers calling you like sweetie or honey?
As long as they're not being creepy about it, I don't care. But I grew up like I guess I guess I really didn't grow up in the South. I really grew up here. But like in the South it's a big thing to be like, "Okay, hun."
Yeah.
So that's not something that ever really bothered me, but if you're going to come up to me and be fucking creepy about it, then I'm going to have an issue.
Yeah, I see that. I don't think it really bugs me that much, except if it's in the workplace. Like a lot of people when I first started
Yeah,
used to call
call
me
you kid.
kiddo,
Yeah.
which like didn't really bother me that much. But I also was like, why? Like, obviously it's because I'm younger, but like
Right.
I have way fucking higher ranking than you.
Yeah.
And like, not that
That
I need to be shown respect in a way, but also like, I don't know,
just it's a respect thing in general.
like,
Like that'd
yeah,
be like me going around and telling Kenzie, like calling Kenzie a kid.
yeah.
Like, "Hey kid." Like I'm not going to do that.
And you guys are technically the same rank. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It just like it never really like truly bugged me, and partly because like obviously I was like new, so like people didn't really know me that well, and like maybe that's something I would say like I guess if maybe I like forgot someone's name, just being like, "Hey kiddo," but also it's just like
You could also just say, "Hey,
right. I don't know, and it was
how
it
you
bugged
doing?"
me a tiny bit because I was like and I don't think they meant it
No. And
a
I
in a way that was supposed to bug me.
I don't think they did either. But it's like at the same time, just be aware
Yeah.
that like something like that could bother somebody,
And
especially because you are you were the youngest
yeah.
until Riley came along.
Oh, 100%.
So it's like they almost I feel like the older-ish generations don't look at kids with the same seriousness as they would somebody their age.
Yeah.
So it's hard trying to quite literally work anywhere
Yeah.
when they don't see you as an equal or see you
But
as
also,
somebody who
like,
wants to do something. How'd you
I'm
know?
running a department, so, like,
No, right,
how.
right. I gotta be doing something right
And
here.
also, it's and I think this is where, like, it didn't bug me because, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm running a department and you're not.
Right.
So, like, you can call me whatever the fuck you want, but at the end of the day, like,
Yeah.
I have not seniority,
Say
but I guess rankority or I don't know what you would.
superiority.
Yeah. I don't know. Ugh, sneezing without covering your mouth. You're
Yeah,
guilty of this
I
sometimes.
am. Yeah, sometimes because sometimes my sneezes just like creep up on me, and it just like comes out of nowhere.
And,
But
like, I'm not a germaphobe, but, like,
yeah,
at the very least,
yeah,
cover your mouth.
yeah.
Especially because it's just, I'm not a germaphobe, but I don't wanna get sick.
Right.
So, like,
Hmm.
girly pop. Girly pop.
Oh, being micromanaged.
Yeah, that annoys me
That's like a
sometimes too.
that's kind of like a pet peeve for me. Like if you feel like I'm doing something not the way you would like it done or not correctly, I'd much rather you sit down with me and have a conversation and be like, "Hey, can we try and work on doing something differently?"
Yeah.
And be like, "Yeah." But if you're gonna stand over me the whole time and be like, "You shouldn't have done that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You can do that better. I don't like that." Come to me and have a conversation so I can work on what I need to fix without you having to stand over me.
Yeah, I also think it's just, like, a respect
Mm-hmm.
thing where, A, like, coming from a manager's standpoint, if you have to babysit your staff,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
something's wrong.
Yep.
Something is wrong.
Yep.
So,
Not even
you
just
need to
on your
figure that
staff,
out
but it could be something wrong with
how my operations are
right.
going.
Right.
Oh, 100%. And then if coming from somebody who, at a lower level, like, even I have people that I have to
Mhm.
report to and stuff, when I feel micromanaged, which doesn't happen often,
Mhm.
it does happen on occasion, but it's also just like, do you not trust what I'm doing?
Right.
Like, if something is not being done to your standard, let me know
And I'll
and I'll fix it.
yep.
Or I will find a way in my way to reassure you that that is happening,
Yep.
but don't just come at me with like tasks and be like, and you need to report it to me. It's like, you're making this a million times worse than it
Right.
needs to be. You're adding more steps to something that literally should take 2 seconds,
Mhm.
but now I have to wait for you to
Right.
now.
Look over it,
Yes, and it's
double
just
check,
like,
make sure I'm doing everything that I've already been doing,
right.
to then have you say, "Okay," and then be able to do what I was
I
doing.
also feel like when stuff gets micromanaged, it just causes more problems
Absolutely, because
altogether. And I feel like there's way more room to
for an
like
error.
contradict yourself
Yeah.
and make an error,
Yeah.
which I feel like happens more often than not.
Yes.
Because yes, you want something done the right way, rather than just having it be done, you're like, well, it needs to be done this way, this way, this way. And then whoever's being told to do it that way, that way, that way, goes to do it, but then it's not right because they're not doing it the way they
Yeah.
normally do. And
Yeah.
then it's like, well, if you knew it should have been done a different way, like I don't run your department.
Right, but it's
It's
like,
like,
but
well,
you
you
but
just told me to do
right.
it this way because that's how you thought. Like, oh,
Right, so I do it this
that's when
way,
I
and
get
then you
annoyed.
don't want it this way, but now you want me to go back to the original way that I was doing it, that you
Hmm.
didn't want me doing in the first place.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and it's like if you want it done a certain way, let's sit down together and do it. Don't just tell me to do it and
Mhm.
report back to you because then it's probably going to be done wrong. You
Yeah.
clearly wanted it done a certain way, so either do it yourself or show me like we're going to do it together so
Yeah.
that way we both know it's done correctly. Our camera cut out mid rant, but you get the point. I am curious. I know that we're at the hour mark. Last week you said you had a really cool. How long is that going to take to?
Shouldn't take too long. I can probably do it real quick.
Because I am curious.
Have you ever heard of the seed bunker?
No.
So it's literally a bunker that it's in like this remote part of the world that's like, I guess, extremely hard to get to.
Okay.
So it's a seed vault. So the seed vault safeguards duplicates of 1,301,397 seed samples from almost every country globally,
Whoa.
with room for millions more. Its purpose is to back up gene bank collections to make sure the foundation of our future food supply.
Interesting.
So if we were to go into like, and it's like a bunker.
Yeah.
So if we were to go into something almost like a fallout,
Yeah.
this bunker would survive.
Whoa.
So then now you have somebody who can go to this bunker,
Yeah.
get the seeds, plant the seeds.
What happens if if the people who know how to get in the bunker like die in this?
They're very open about how to get in the bunker.
That's
Yeah.
scary because
So
like I could see somebody being like going and bomb threaten that.
like says the seed vault has a capacity to store 4.5 million varieties of crops. Each packet of seeds consists an average of 500 seeds. So a maximum of 2.5 billion seeds may be stored in the seed vault.
Huh.
As of May
And is it
2024.
just seeds or is it actual like plants that
No,
they
it's
can grab?
just seeds, so they can plant them.
Huh.
And they have to be kept at a certain temp, so it has to be kept at negative 18 degrees Celsius.
Huh. Okay, so that was gonna be my next kind of question is like, how does that work? Because like different plants need different environments and stuff like that.
How does it work?
Okay.
The seed vault is the ultimate insurance policy for the world's food supply, securing millions of seeds representing every important crop variety available in the world today and offering options for future generations to overcome the challenges of climate change and population growth.
Hmm.
A temperature of negative 18 degrees Celsius is required for optimal storage of the seeds.
Is that so they don't like go bad?
Yeah. Permafrost and thick rock ensure that the seed samples will remain frozen without power. It's in the Arctic.
What?
Yeah. So
Whoa.
the seeds are sealed in custom made 3-ply foil packages,
Huh.
which are sealed inside boxes and stored on shelves inside the seed vault at low temperatures and moisture levels inside the seed vault ensure low metabolic activity, keeping the seeds viable for a long period of time. This is what they look like.
Whoa, interesting.
Oh, so it's in Norway.
Okay.
So, it says,
That's interesting too. Like I wonder like hypothetically end of the world, right? Every
mhm,
country is basically like destroyed. I wonder how that would go. Like imagine say Norway is like destroyed, right?
mhm,
All of Europe is kind of destroyed. But like the US and half of Russia is like good to some extent. Who's gonna like control who gets what?
right.
Like do they share it with everybody? It's kind of like a Noah's Ark situation too, where
Mm,
like it sounds like they have like a little bit of
yeah,
everything, but not like
right.
a
And like some of
huge
these things are only going
stockpile.
to be able to grow in certain places.
Well, that's the other thing too. And
Right,
like, do they have like seeds to grow, I don't know, apples, right?
right. Well, it
But
says
like
that they
you're out
have,
in Norway, so like do
right.
apples even grow in Norway?
These range from unique varieties of major African and Asian food staples, such as maize, rice, wheat, cowpea, and sorghum,
Okay.
to European and South American varieties of eggplant, lettuce, barley, and potato. The seed vault already holds the most diverse collection of food crop seeds in the world. The seed the seed vault's objective is to safeguard as much of the world's unique crop genetic material as possible,
Mm.
while also avoiding unnecessary duplication.
I'm sure they do prioritize some of the stuff through history that are used the most, like
Yeah,
wheat and
yeah.
potatoes and
Things that you can use to make
lots of different
anything.
thing,
Yeah.
and that you can grow semi easily
Yes.
in like bulk.
Yeah.
Like how many people are like you're gonna have to plant a whole fucking palm tree to make a coconut,
Right.
and that's gonna take
Years.
forever.
Right.
But you can grow a potato within a year.
Right. Who can take the seeds out?
Okay.
The seed boxes are stored under black box conditions, meaning the depositors are the only ones who can withdraw their own seeds. When seeds are deposited,
Oh.
the global seed vault in the global seed vault, their legal ownership is not transferred. This means that the depositor who chooses to store seeds in the seed vault is still the owner of the seeds and the only one that can draw them
Oh, okay.
within the seed
So
vault.
like hypothetically we could give seeds, but we'd
And
be the only
only
ones.
ones to take out our seeds.
Whoa, okay.
Um,
So like but then at the same time hypothetically like end of the world situation, right? If
right.
50% of the people that donated died due to this,
Mm-hmm.
natural disaster, who gets dibs on the seeds?
Right. Yeah.
And who's to say like, well, he died, like, Mark died, so Susie, that means Susie can get it.
You can look at the public database.
That's interesting. I wonder how much it does it say how much it costs?
And
Should we donate some seeds?
no, I'm thinking we might.
What should we plant?
I don't know.
Totally potato,
Totally potato.
totally wheat,
Totally wheat. Yep.
um,
Rice.
rice. Do you grow rice?
Yeah. Yeah. Too. Right.
What does rice come from?
I don't know.
I love a good
Oh,
watermelon.
the
Not that I'm
seed
probably
portal
tropical.
serves two main users:
Oh, so not only two people get it?
the depositors and the general public. The seed portal is open for the general public to learn more about the seed samples.
Oh,
Oh.
I think now I'm confused.
You can do it if you like. You can go in and just learn about it.
Yeah, but how do I claim seeds within the seed bank?
I don't know.
Like, do I have to donate?
I think so. They had like a depositors thing.
Interesting.
Take a virtual tour of the seed vault.
All right, we need to wrap up this podcast. We
Okay,
can.
hold on. It might show you what the seed vault looks like.
Oh, okay. Whoa. What?
Yeah. Imagine world ends. You just stumble across this in the Arctic.
Wait, that's actually sick. Like, okay,
And there's nothing around.
I'm gonna screenshot this.
Okay.
I'm gonna for people who are watching the video, I'll post it. Like, it'll be up on the screen. For those who are listening, it
Post it
is.
on Instagram.
Or yeah, I actually could probably post on Instagram too for you to see on Facebook. So imagine gorgeous like snow mountains in Antarctica. Absolutely gorgeous. There's water, like I assume probably the ocean. Stars everywhere. The moon is just shining down. And then in the middle of a random snow mountain is just this like futuristic glowing cement rectangle coming
Yeah.
out of the mountain. It's actually so cool. Like futuristic looking,
Mm-hmm.
glowing
And it's like lit
concrete
up.
rectangle. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, what happens if you hit this? Does it take you to the front of it?
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. What is that? Oh, there's like
That's
art on
yeah.
it.
That's the lights thing.
Wait, that's wicked cool. Yeah, and it just looks out onto the ocean.
Yeah. And like those freaking snow mountains are massive.
What is this? Oh, there's a technical building
Oh.
outside. The technical building hosts technical installation for electricity and power supplies, cooling of the seed vault, and ventilations. It was the all the functionalities were constructed and upgraded in 2018 and 2019.
Dang. So it just kept cold from, because I think this all started in 2004.
Yeah, it has an office, a small reading room, a space to store warm clothes and other equipment for working inside the seed vault.
Well, yeah, because especially if it has to be negative 18 degrees Celsius, it has to be freezing in there.
Let's enter.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So it's just a big concrete building so far.
Yeah, it basically just looks like I walked into a basement with some really secure freaking doors.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cute. Whoa, now I look like I'm like entering a spaceship.
Yeah, like in a tunnel.
It's like a white tube, walking down the white tube.
Still walking down the white
Enter
tube.
the Aurora Borealis room.
Whoa.
What?
I mean, the Aurora must be incredible from there.
Okay, well, it doesn't look that cool.
Okay.
It literally looks like a half-finished room.
Yeah, it almost looks like a half-finished
Okay,
basement.
and then the cathedral.
Okay. We'll look up. Oh, wait. Sorry. No,
I-
it's okay. Not a big deal.
All right, at this point, now it all looks the same.
Oh,
All right, seed chamber. All right, we're going into a seed chamber. Now it
Whoa.
looks like an IKEA.
Kinda.
All right.
It's
Well,
okay.
it looked like an IKEA.
It did look like an
like
IKEA.
at the end of an IKEA when you're like, oh, I need to get A53, and you're like in a warehouse trying to figure it out. But it was like blue and yellow, and then just a bunch of like stock shelves. The outside was the coolest part.
Yeah.
Down.
And like, I saw a picture not too long ago. People bringing, to give you like a general size of how big this building is, in seeds to seed vault.
Well, that's cool.
So like, and then it just goes into the mountain.
Yeah, that is cool.
Like, that's so cool. Yeah,
Whoa.
Doomsday Vault.
That is wicked cool.
It says that it flooded in 2017.
Uh-oh.
Oh, after permafrost had melted.
Hmm.
Huh.
Can you believe 2017 was
The year I graduated high school?
like 8 years ago?
Don't say that.
Right? 25 minus... Yeah, 8 years ago.
I graduated high school 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking old.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you guys for listening and or watching. We actually only really talked about like 2 or 3 topics. I knew my pet peeves one was gonna like we were gonna talk about it a while.
Right. So I still have topics to talk about.
I know. I actually
do too. I have 2 left.
Oh, perfect.
So,
well, we'll use that for the next episode unless we come up with a better idea. So thank you guys for listening. I'm kind of curious on some of your guys' pet peeves. I'm sure people probably have different ones than us, or at least maybe ones that they feel more strongly about, or maybe they disagree, because some people disagree with some of my driving ones, and they tell me I just need to chill out.
Yeah.
But I feel very strongly about my driving ones,
Garfield,
as you can tell.
We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
You probably learned a lot about us with these pet peeves.
Yeah. We got pretty heated on some of them.
Yeah.
Me specifically. But
yeah.
It's funny, you really only got heated when it was talking about something that I did.
Really, only pet peeves I have are the things. But,
I guess
I mean,
so.
even those pet peeves have like calmed down a little.
Yeah.
Like
Are
the
there
mouth noises aren't nearly as bad. And
yeah, you did give me some props on some of them.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Are there any pet peeves that we didn't mention that you think annoys you? I'm sure I have probably 1 or 2. Oh, I know one that I have.
I know one I have.
I hate when people do stuff for attention.
Yes. Yeah. Attention seeking.
Yeah. That annoys the living shit out of me. It irks me real quick. It also just makes me not like you, like genuinely.
Mine's repetitiveness.
What do you mean?
You're gonna make me repeat something a million times.
Oh.
Like, I just...
She's saying that because it's something I do.
It's not even just you. Like, there's times where, like, I love Ray to death. We all know that. There's times where Ray will make you repeat something a million times.
Yeah.
And by the 4th time, I'm over it. And I don't want to repeat it anymore. And Sydney does it sometimes too with I love you. And I'll tell her I love her any time of the day. We'll literally be sitting on the couch and she'll go, I love you. I go, I love you. And she goes, I love you. And I go, I love you. And she goes, I love you. I love you.
Yeah, that's
I
what she
love
does.
you. I love you. You don't have to tell me anymore. Like you obviously you have to tell me more because I love hearing that you love me.
To be fair,
Just stop making me repeat it.
a lot of times when I do that, it's because like I genuinely just want to like talk.
All right.
And like sometimes it's because like you're nose deep in your phone and you're just like
Mhm.
not paying attention to me. So like
Yeah.
I have to just like
Annoy the shit out of me.
mhm.
Yeah.
All right,
But we
well,
love each other. Don't let that fool
yeah,
you.
don't let that fool you. Actually, I hate her guts.
Yeah,
So.
I can't fucking stand her, dude. I'm ready for this marriage to be over. I'm just trying to get my green card here.
Oh, she
Just
is legal.
kidding. I am legal.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you guys for listening. I hope this one was worth a laugh. And
Everybody, he made an appearance.
at the very least, hopefully we got your guys' gears grinding too, talking about some pet peeves and stuff. Because I know that if I was listening to this, I would
Oh
totally
yeah.
be like,
You'd be like, that is so fucking right. Yeah, that
or I'd be
pisses me
like,
off.
how does that not fucking
No,
annoy you? Or like,
literally. Yeah.
relax, girl. People can drive slow. Like, let them be safe. All right. Make sure to follow. Jesus.
Make sure to follow us on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Yeah. All right. With that being said, 3, 2, 1.
Goof
Goof out.
out.
Bye.
Bye.